Hello. Um, Playing some Better Than Adventure on a server I set up for some friends, people I know, I guess. Join if they want. Sometimes it's just me though, like right now. Kept thinking about making a video, but which I almost don't know why, because I keep not really knowing what to say, or but I almost get the idea like I have something to talk about, but I don't know. I guess you can see a little bit of this latest building that I made. Traveled out here in the Nether, just to explore the world a little bit. There are some things this mod does differently in the world, but it's not too much, which I like, but you know, there are some things to find, so some changes to biomes a little bit. So it's fun to see, you know, what you can stumble across. In fact, I haven't even explored this area too much. Yeah, maybe part of what I almost wanted to talk about was this mod. It's very nice. I think it's probably it's probably the best, I guess you'd call them like beta continuation mods or alternate development. Which there are a couple of nowadays, but it's probably my favorite that I've played so far. I think it does everything right, or it's in the right direction. Which, you know, the other ones I've played are pretty good too in their own way, but you know, I think this one probably does what I'm looking for the best, or again, it's in the right direction with things like the seasons. You know, you can see here it's winter right now, apparently. Snowing earlier. And, you know, what else? I mean, again, the way it adds things in the world is pretty nice. The visual changes are pretty nice. It adds certain somewhat minor things, but it's almost kind of nice, almost like the addition of smooth lighting back in the day. Like apparently there's sort of a bloom effect on certain things, which you'd almost think would be pretty annoying, but it's kind of nice. I don't know, I like it. Also, yeah, there's some visual glitches. I think this is just something in multiplayer, or maybe it's the fact that I'm running the server off my own machine. It's not always like that, but I guess it's worse when I'm exploring like this. But it always works when I get up close, you know. But, you know, you got these cherry trees, they're nice, they give you cherries. I guess they added that in modern Minecraft, but, you know, I guess I can't think much wrong with cherry trees. Although I guess there's probably a separate issue, which is, I don't know, the way these things are implemented in general. Which is kind of vague. I almost don't know what I mean by that, but I don't know. I mean, I guess it's more like, I think Mojang tends to focus on biomes to a strange degree. Like it's a strange focus to have, or the way they focus on them is weird. And in a way, sometimes this mod almost gets into that territory. in a way that I'm unsure about. Like they add maybe too many biomes, but I don't know. Or it's too much of like, you know. I don't know. Like a new biome, new tree type. That's just that kind of copy pasted over and over, or some gimmick or something. Which I don't really think this mod does as much as modern Minecraft does, but you know. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where it's just, I guess maybe that's part of what I was thinking about lately. Is like, it's kind of hard to describe these things, kind of hard to describe what's even wrong. You know? But at the same time, it's not really just nostalgia or something. At least, I wouldn't think it's necessarily that case. I mean, maybe it is for some people. But, you know. I mean, there is something to the way people care about these, you know, the beta stage of the game and previous, and the way the game feels different. I mean, I think it makes sense on a deeper level than just, you know, my feelings or whatever, but it's kind of hard to explain it, which I think is, you know, there are a lot of things that are like that, but I guess this is one of them. Because I think it's almost a sort of holistic thing. Also, I think I'm lost. But I guess I'd call it, I guess holistic might be the word, or like, it's more about everything, the way everything comes together, rather than any individual feature or something being good or bad. Like, you know, people always get pissed off over hunger or whatever. And, well, I don't really like the hunger system either. It's kind of like, it's almost not really that bad individually. It's almost just everything that was added at that update, or like, and things going forward, how it was aesthetically and all that, like how it changed the feeling of the game in a certain difficult to perceive sense. Not difficult to perceive, but difficult to explain if you see it. Yeah, I'm lost. I don't even know where the fuck I am anymore. Okay, maybe it's over there because that's the forest. I just wandered off in a direction I wasn't really... I guess I said I was exploring, but, you know, you can see how pretty this is. I think it's pretty. Very pretty. And this aesthetic, again, is one of the things that was lost with the new lighting system and all that, but anyway, I mean, again, it's almost not really any individual thing that really matters in the whole, you know, discussion about, I don't know, like what version of Minecraft is best or something, or like what Minecraft should be, rather, maybe, is a more elegant way to put it. I'm always kind of looking for a more elegant way to put things, but maybe that's just, I don't know, my weird obsession with certain things relating to language. Like, I always want to find some perfect way to say something when maybe that doesn't really exist. But, anyway. I guess I was gonna go digging. Another thing I like about this mod too is it makes diamond tools faster, which I guess is kind of balanced out by the steel tools that they add, which are the speed that diamond was before, I think. But they're more durable, I guess. Diamond might be also less durable, but I'm not really sure. Might just seem that way because it's faster. But I kind of like the way that's balanced, you know? Like, each tier, I suppose, is good for different things in a certain way. Although, I don't know, I almost don't want to use, like, a steel pickaxe, for example, anymore, but, like, a steel sword, I think, is the same level of damage, so it's almost just an improvement. Anyway. Back to what I was talking about before, which was, yeah, I mean, the way things are kind of, everything's kind of bound up in each other when thinking about, I guess, the way the game might feel different. Or, yeah, again, the conversation over what Minecraft should be, which I think is probably, I mean, it's going to be different for everyone, of course. I think everyone will probably have a different answer to that question. That's fine, really. I just, think I have an idea of what my answer is. And, I mean, it's probably kind of hard to put into words, and I mean, I'm almost always kind of thinking about what it really is, but there is something to it that has some substance to it. And you can feel that, but I don't know. Like when playing this, you can feel it. Like there's just the way it all comes together, the way everything is intended, the way it's designed. You feel it when you play, you know, the old versions, quote unquote, or whatever. Like it's, you know, if you see it, you see it. It makes perfect sense, but and I think there are individual things that you can point to as to the differences and sort of the design philosophy as the years went by, with the change and in management, I suppose, shift in management, and everything that goes along with that. I mean, you can write, you know, lists and lists, essays upon essays about it, and people have and will continue to do so. And you know, I don't know if I'm really trying to do that too much. I'm just kind of rambling, but you know, I mean, let me think. So, but I think there are examples you can point to. Like, I read a post once that maybe a year or so ago or something, and basically was pointing out that Notch, when he was still developing the game, was very, what he liked was systems, or like, you know, I mean, he was interested in the procedural, in systems, in things interacting with each other, or, you know, I mean, in a certain sense of that, like, you kind of, I guess an easy thing to do would be to, you know, talk about, like, examples, you know. So think of the water system, or even, like, how it worked before, you know, the modern incantation, that's, iteration, the modern iteration, I think, where, you know, it flows like this. It goes a certain amount of blocks and stops, so it's sort of finite. Well, it's infinite, but it travels a finite distance. But then you have, you know, before that, like an indev where it was a finite water system where it would, you know, it would drain into places and you know, spread in a certain way according to, you know, some kind of function or calculation or something. Not a programmer, but you get what I mean. Like, Or you have, you know, mushroom spreading, where it, you know, operates, you know, according to a certain function or whatever. Things that spread. And, you know, or I guess something like redstone even. The implementation of that to begin with is something that was pretty up his alley, you know, it was something that he would have been interested in, I think. Like, you know, that kind of logic system. But, you know, the point is that you can kind of see the way things are, like it is sort of a personal touch or a personal intention in all of these features. You know, it was a reflection of what Notch was interested in, or whatever he wanted to add to the game or thought would be interesting. And of course, now you see the way that Mojang does things too, which is in a particular way, and it's according to particular sets of rules, which are probably much more rigid in certain ways, or, you know, again, they abide by different rules and are probably decided by many, many more people than just one person with one intention. And you see how things kind of get lost in that, or, you know, the intention as a whole can change, even if they do have, you know, like design documents, like that one book that was released. It's like kind of the rules for the design. I don't know what it's called, but, you know, I've seen it, I've looked at it. And it's definitely a lot different in that artistic intention than how things were before. Even if, again, I don't think Notch was extremely serious about the project, and that's probably why he kind of let go of it, you know. Or at least, I don't know, I mean, I don't know if I want to say he was not serious, but, I mean, there's a certain level of, you know, it's kind of just, I mean, for him at that point, it was just, it's a hobby, you know. Realize he can make money off of it, and, you know, it keeps going from there and blows up. But anyway, I mean, that's beside the point, you know. But, I mean, there's a lot that you can look into regarding that, and I think it would be interesting to do that more. I mean, I try to sometimes, and I could probably talk more about it, but I don't know if I want to go too long on the one thing. But, I mean, the point is that there is kind of, there are particular design elements that are completely different from now and then, you know, that make playing something like this way different from playing Minecraft now. You know, not just in the way of, like, lack of features, but just in the way that it comes together, the way that it's, you know. I don't know. Again, it's like, I don't know if I'm explaining this very well. I mean, maybe I need more practice at doing this, and I guess this is good then, but, oh, my pickaxe broke. I didn't realize that was going to happen. Well, I guess I have more diamonds, actually, so I can just walk up. I was thinking I'd have to go all the way back home, which is kind of far. But, anyway. Like home. Spawn home. Anyway, I mean, either way, this is probably good practice still. So, maybe it makes sense, maybe it doesn't. I'm still gonna try and say these things anyway. 'Cause why not? So I was gonna get a drop on it. Oh, fuck. Alright, give me one more. Shove all that crap. And get some sticks going. Get a pickaxe going. There we go. Oh, it's daytime. Oh, it's spring. Look at that. Spring. Yeah, sprung. Great, I love seasons. Oh, he's stuck in this wall. Yeah, so, anyway, okay, so yeah. Game is different from now and then. It's hard to explain, though. Which is why I guess it's so much fun for people to make endless amounts of videos talking about this and, or whatever else, writing it up. And it's been endlessly fun for me to do the same thing in my own head for years and years and years. I mean, I've understood this, I guess, or, like I've felt this way for a long time, kind of. I mean, it's interesting to see it being kind of a new thing. That's the other thing I've been thinking about lately, how it's like, I think for a lot of people, they're realizing this stuff for the first time, whereas I can't even remember the first time I was like, I kind of like went looking back at these this stage of the game's development and kind of, you know, having the fascination for them. I started playing in, I guess I could start with that. Like, I started playing in beta 1.6 in 2011. I remember I pirated the game when playing it for the first time. I was using a pirated copy, like the free website one you could get for a while. Like, whatever that was called. You know, just like play Minecraft for free or some shit like that, and it worked. And it was crazy, but, you know, my first couple worlds that I've lost were on there. And, you know, that's when I started getting into the game. So it is kind of at that stage where people are looking back now, but, you know, I think not long after, like it probably was only like a year or so later, like in 2012 or 2013, you know, when I was like 12 or 11. Like, for some reason I did start feeling the same way, where I looked back and kind of thought, I mean, part of my thought was, I think I kind of wished I was into the game even earlier. There was something compelling about the idea of, you know, kind of being a part of the community when it was still in like alpha or earlier. Like, I had, you know, looking into the community and stuff, you of course see videos and stuff and discussion from that time, and I don't know, maybe things like Herobrine or whatever. That was also like a big thing for me as a kid. And it would kind of make me more fascinated, like I did perceive that there was almost, even though I was sort of in what now people now would still consider like the golden age or something, like, I kind of still wish I could go even further back, because at that point, you know, that time seemed like it was, like, getting in on the good times. Like, it makes me think of, I mean, it's a common sentiment, right, but with anything, but, I mean, I've been watching The Sopranos recently, so it makes me think of, I think in the first episode, you know, where Tony's on the, his monologue about, you know, like, you ever get the feeling like, oh shit. Well, good thing I disabled monster griefing. Just don't want people, like, joining the server and blowing shit up accidentally. And not being able to repair it, but anyway. It makes me think of the monologue in the beginning where he says something like, you know, you ever get the feeling like, fuck. I mean, it's like I almost don't I'd have to remind myself of what it is. I'll look like a doofus saying it wrong, but, you know, something about the good times, you missed out on the golden age, or you're at the very end of it, you know. I don't know. I'm just gonna butcher it, but I'm sure you can look that up. And it's something like that. Something like that. And I basically feel like Tony there. And I felt like that when I was 12. About Minecraft. Block game. You know, I was at the end of the good times. And, you know, it was just downhill from here on out. And I guess maybe that was kind of right, really, but, you know. Still, I kind of had that, I guess the point is I had that fascination or the realizations and of everything that entails, like, you know, how different the game started becoming, and like, well, that's weird, you know, or I kind of wish I could go back, you know, or it'd be nice to have these old worlds, so some of it's like nostalgia, even though it had only been like a couple years or something. Oh, I'm gonna die. This fucking skeleton. Oh, for God's sakes, man. Fucking. Well, it's my fault for not wearing armor, but. Yeah. I was into that. I guess that maybe that's just what happens when you think too much about stuff. You know, it'll just happen. No matter what stage you are, no matter what you're thinking about, no matter how long it's been or how short, you'll start getting sentimental. I don't know. What am I saying? But yeah, I mean, it's interesting seeing that all these realizations, I guess, happen for people now. Or even like, I don't know, like I was going back to play these like back in the day too. I guess then you would have there were other methods to do it. I mean, it's pretty great now because of more people being interested in it, really, because you know, you have stuff like this mod. I mean, something like this didn't exist. I mean, I think the oldest thing is probably like New Frontier Craft, but even that, I feel like, no, it feels like it hasn't been that long, but since that started, but I think it's actually been a while, like years. And I'm just like, you know, blanking out the amount of time that has passed, which happens sometimes because, I don't know, it's pretty crazy. Time goes by. But yeah, I mean, there's that, but like to actually play, just, you know, to go back, the versions you kind of had to use like what was it, like Nostalgia Craft or something, where it's like a command line thing you had to run, and I don't know, I mean, it's not that fucked up or anything, but, you know, that old days mod that kind of let you bring the old features in the newer versions, or whatever. Which again, like, those things almost don't seem that old, but they kind of are now, really. They're getting up there, getting on in the years, but I don't know. I mean, it's interesting seeing how things have changed in that regard. Not just people's interests, but, you know, what they create or what they do. And that's cool. You know, it's always changing, always going forward, you know, always more and more of these kind of projects every day. It's kind of amazing to me, really. Like damn, I never thought it would be this much of a thing, really. I really thought it would be just like something that like only I or a few other people would ever get, and like no one else would ever understand what the hell I'm even talking about when I say that, like, you know, like you think it's always just gonna be some you know, average Joe Schmo asking you like, hey, why are you isn't that version of the game like fucking 10 years old? Why are you playing that? Isn't that worse because it has less shit? You know? And I guess there's still people like that, obviously. And sure, it's a fair question. But, you know, There are more people who get the distinction, you know. Even if it's also like to debate that it's like a stupid distinction, or that you know, it actually is better even if it's different. Like the newer stuff is better, or whatever else you want to argue. I mean, I almost don't really care about comparison too much, even though I do prefer this. But you know how it goes online. Anyway, yeah, it's just crazy to see the passage of time. Strange things happen. Strange things happen. And you live to see it. Yeah, okay. Alright. Let me think about the game a little here. I mean, I've just been exploring this cave. Kind of mindless. I guess that was the point, so I could talk about things. Drink of water. Well. It's kind of the one thing I'm a little iffy about in this mod, too, is like the moss stone. You get this in the world, mossy stone. There's one for each stone variant, which I do like, by the way. I mean, I know they're kind of annoying in newer versions, but they're in big enough patches here, as you can see, that it's almost not too bad. You don't get too clogged with it, and I like their textures. It's appropriately classic enough. Although I have been using some texture packs people have too, which are fun. You know, gotta love Painterly, gotta love Gerudoku. Even been using Faithful a little bit. Eld pack, I never knew about that. Apparently that's a real classic texture pack, but I never knew about that back in the day. I never saw that, so I don't know. But apparently it was a big thing. I don't know. But yeah, you can get some of this. Some people have made some custom packs for this mod, which is pretty awesome. Another thing that's pretty good about a bunch of people getting into this is, you know, you get even just really like niche autistic stuff that you never would dream of. Like custom Painterly for custom mods for, you know, very custom desires. I would say. Or at least, again, I thought so. But apparently not. Apparently people get it, so, you know, that's nice. Anyway, I was talking about the moss stone. I kind of don't like it. Maybe I just don't like the textures. Even in these texture packs, it kind of looks weird. Actually, this is probably the one that looks the best in the Painterly. Looks the most natural. The other ones, it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, no offense, but like, geez, look at that. What's going on? It's just, you know, I mean, is it just me, or is that like vomit? I'm sorry, but you know, looks weird. Or like, even this is not that bad. It's just like, I don't know. It's just like grass. I mean, it's moss. It's supposed to be like mossy stone, like the mossy cobblestone. That's kind of like, you know, you get what I mean, right? Anyway. I mean, I guess, yeah, that's how it looks like. It's like this weird, I don't know. It just looks weird. And it also doesn't really have a purpose, which is not horrible necessarily, but it's like I can't really build with it either, because it's like, you know, what the fuck do I use this for? Nothing. vomit pit. Yeah, if I want to make a vomit pit that's ugly, I can do that. I can use those. Anyway, enough shitting on that block. I mean, I think it does spread, which is cool. I like, again, that's another thing that's kind of like what I was talking earlier with the systems. Like, that's very classic Minecraft type design, is to have something that works according to a sort of simple system that interacts with the world like that, you know. Which I think is the thing about that too that I don't know if I really elaborated on, but that it has to do with the world itself. Because I think a lot of, like, modern Minecraft has systems-based features. It's just like, they're kind of, I don't know how to put them. I guess they're centered around the player in a certain way rather than being a part of the world. If that, maybe that's what it is. Like, you have to do something really obscure in order to get something. Like, think about the new fucking, like, armadillos, for example. Like the frogs and the frog lights. You have to, like, feed them magma slimes to get them to give you a shitty block that is just like a weird looking lamp. Like, okay, and you get like one or something. Wow, that's like so shitty and annoying. Fuck you. But, you know, it's like something that's, it's a certain kind of system that's like centered around the player performing an obscure action that is, I guess maybe they hint at it somehow, but it's like it's almost like a weird puzzle that's just, I don't know, it's just like such bizarre design. I really don't understand what they're thinking with that. Like, I don't know, like why you can't just kill a creature to get its item, or I don't know, hell. I don't know, it's just weird. I mean, maybe there's better solutions, maybe there's not. I mean, I'm not here to argue about that too much, but still, I mean, you kind of see the intention there that's different, I think. You know, but something like this, I mean, features more like this, where it's something that's a part of the world, and it kind of goes on whether you're there or not. Although I guess you have to load the chunk probably for it to work, but, you know, I mean, whether you interact with it or not, it's a part of the world that changes. The seasons change whether you know, do anything or not. You know, and it affects certain aspects of the world. It affects how you interact with it. Days are longer or shorter, depending on the season in this, which I love. But, you know, things like that, or again, like mushroom spreading, it'll happen a certain way. It's somewhat random. The way the world generates, even. Although, I mean, obviously that's a part of Minecraft that never goes away, but, you know. Like, even the way Mojang does that is kind of, sort of almost more, it's more rigid in a certain sense. Like that's the problem with biomes I was talking about earlier, I think, is, it's sort of, there's a level of, fuck, I mean, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's almost like a prefab of some kind. Like, every biome is going to be somewhat of the same thing, no matter what. Whereas, the way Notch designed things, it was more about, in sort of, the way the world was designed was that you would find variations that were more set in, you know, like features of the world, like, you know, the way mountains are shaped, or lakes, or whatever. Like, it wasn't so much focused on, you know, like, you come across a biome and it has a certain set of blocks and trees and enemies or monsters. It's more about, I don't know. I mean, I guess that was a lot of it was just because, like, it was, you know, setting the groundwork for the game, like having things generate at all, was a lot of what Notch was having to do, you know. But, I don't know. Like, I feel like, and maybe you get what I mean, like, with biomes, there's again, it's hard to explain, but there's sort of a overarching design thing going on here that's I'm just gonna dig. I'm just digging. Fucking hell. You know. I mean, maybe I already explained it, really. I mean, again, it's just... But the biomes are just so... Or the point of it gameplay-wise, it directs your attention in a certain way. You know? You're supposed to be concerned with all the creatures and the wood types and the structures. You know, you go to this biome to find this structure, or this block type that you can use to do this thing. You know, like it's all for a singular. It all leads into a singular purpose. Whereas, like, in this sort of design, it's like, you know, you have more general biomes that aren't really focused on, like, the blocks you can get there as much, or, like, the specific features, well, not features, but, like, the, you know, the quote-unquote content, right? Like, you know, this block does this specific thing. It's more like, well, this biome has a certain, you know, feeling to it, or it generates in a certain way. Or some things even Modern Minecraft has that I like a good example of something good, I think, that is this kind of design that I like, is the way Badlands biomes, they generate more gold on average. Or, you know, mine shafts can generate in a different way. Like, it's not that there's a specific structure to the biome, but, you know, another structure that generates everywhere. You know, in that case, you know, mine shafts, they generate higher, you know, up on the surface sometimes. So it's like it changes the way that existing features function. You get what I'm saying? Like, or it changes the way you might interact with them there, or it gives you a certain reason to visit them if you're looking for a certain thing. I don't know. Mostly, again, like it puts a spin on things, or it adds depth, you know, rather than just widening the puddle. Like it's you know, something like ore generation, it adds something different there rather than just, you know, a new thing. And that's the kind of thing that I like. And that, I don't know, it feels like Mojang doesn't really do that much of, or it's not really focused on that. But I don't know. I mean, again, it's like, you probably argue against certain things, you probably argue against that, or I have no idea what I'm talking about or whatever, but it's a lot of things that come together, and it's kind of like, again, it's almost why it feels weird to argue over whether it's like better or worse or something. It's just like, it's just a different way of designing things. It's just so different, you know? And it's undeniable that the way they develop things is different. I mean, they're just in a totally different situation. I mean, being commandeered by Microsoft and shit like that, I mean, that's, you know, I don't even need to tell you how much that has to affect fucking everything. Like, every single decision they make, everything they do. You know? And I can tell you all they want, it changes nothing, but, I mean, you know it does. Even just in the sense of, I don't know, just knowing who's above you, I guess. I don't know. But, I'm just kind of, I don't know for sure, but, you know. And again, the fact that it's not just one guy's passion project, too, is, of course, important. As stated, right? Like, intention is everything. But anyway. I don't know. But yeah, I think this mod, it gets that, really. I do worry a little bit with how it implements biomes, that it almost seems to, you know, lean a little hardcore into like the making biomes too important thing, but I think they do realize it has to be toned back a little bit, or there's a certain intention to it. I think it's right, or, they're trying their best. I think I respect it. I respect it, and, some of the biomes they added do look pretty nice. Like, there's a swamp, that does look pretty good. I like it. I mean, I guess a lot of it is, like, how green they make the grass, like, in the good months, like spring and stuff. Although, I mean, every month is nice. It's just, in terms of grass color, you get the best spring, summer, and it kind of gets, a little washed out, which, makes sense, I think, maybe. I mean, it conveys what it's trying to convey, right? But, anyway, yeah, I don't know. Does it say how long I've been recording this for? Yeah, 45 minutes. Maybe I should wrap this up. I mean, what else do I have to say? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what else do I have to say? I don't know. I think that was those topics out of the way. I mean, or general gist. But yeah, maybe I won't get too much into it. But I think the other thing I was thinking about, related, was related to the way things are intended and implemented, and how it sort of comes together in a holistic way, in a, I'm using that word too much probably, and it might not even be correct, but, just, related is how, I think certain features are kind of like, it kind of does go back to, the primordial, like, guy who is confused at you playing an old version of something because it's just worse, this has less stuff, why would you want to do that? But I think it kind of matters. Like, people always use the argument, which, it's almost kind of fair sometimes, and I think it is fair. It's fair sometimes, but it kind of depends. But it's like the argument that, like, well, if you don't like a feature, just ignore it, or, there should be just a setting, or get a mod that disables it, or something like that. Which, I mean, obviously, this is sort of like the mod solution, or, just go back and play it, and yeah, that's fine. That's what I do. I'm fine with that. I don't really care if someone else feels differently than I do, or whatever, or likes playing this game a different way. That's cool and fine. I don't really give a hell. What a I don't know. I mean, it's cool, Minecraft is meant to be enjoyed in many different ways, even though I do think the game, part of how, Mojang's way of doing things suffers is because they try too hard to make it, like, make it that, and to please everybody, and to make it a game where, there's nothing offensive to anybody, or nothing that steps on anybody's toes too much, and everybody is given something in every single update, or something like that, or whatever. Like, basically making it too much of a sandbox game, if that makes any sense, or doesn't sound like I'm insane. Like, or trying too hard, I guess. Oh, hey, finally, diamonds. I feel like there's more diamonds in this, by the way. I've been finding a lot more lately. But maybe I'm just lucky. But, you know, I feel like they try way too hard to do that in a certain sense, or they're, you know, again, their attention is kind of... It's like... I don't know. I mean, again, it's like, I think it suffers from that in the way that you kind of... I think it almost is... It's almost universal in art, I feel like, which is probably another bigger subject. But it's like when you try too hard to do something, or to, like, fulfill a certain desire or something, like you kind of... Or... Like, you kind of stretch yourself too thin, I think. And I think it kind of, like... It almost benefited the way that Notch did things, where he was almost kind of like flying off the seat of his pants, you know. He was kind of just doing whatever and adding whatever, just, you know, whatever sounded good or whatever he liked. Again, like with the systems, procedural stuff I was talking about, like just shit he thought was fucking cool. He just put it in the game. Shit that people suggested, he just put it in the game. He didn't worry about it. Like, that's why people are getting so up in arms about, like, the April Fool's update with the potatoes recently. Because it's kind of like, it was kind of Mojang's chance to do that for whatever reason they had, I guess, just to have fun or whatever. And, you know, people kind of see that because it's like they wish it could be like that all the time. Because I think it kind of reminds people of that, or, you know, it's kind of the same deal a little bit, or reminiscent. It's like just, you know, just shoving shit in. It's kind of more fun that way, and it kind of... It almost, it makes things more unique, more interesting, more free. Like, it's more pure in an art sense, I think, when, you know, it's less trying to please the masses. I don't know, I mean, maybe that's waxing a little, maybe a little pretentious there, but, you know, I mean, I think you get what I'm saying still. I think it's a comprehensible point enough. Like, there's something that's lost when, you know, you have to go through a bunch of meetings or a bunch of rules and shit like that. And it's... Or maybe just if those rules aren't very good or something. maybe I just don't like their rules, you know, or don't like their, maybe I don't like Jeb's little rule book, okay? I mean, maybe that's it. As simple as that, but, you know. Anyway. Still, I mean, there's something that's lost when you don't have just, kind of just... I don't know. Or like when you, again, like when you try... In the way that Mojang tries to do things, I think it kind of almost is... It almost works counterintuitively or something. Like, it does the opposite of what they want, where it's like... It almost makes things more stifling in a weird way. Where it's like you feel compelled to do all these things, which leads into the other thing, where it's like... I think it does kind of matter when things are implemented. Like, you almost can't ignore certain things because it's there. Because just by being there, it kind of compels you to pay attention to it. Like, the intention is that you at least give it some thought, or that it's useful for a certain purpose or something. Or, you know, it would just help you. Like, it would just make things more efficient. Like enchanting, you know. If you don't want to be mining really slowly, you know. Compared to your buddies and pals who are putting their pickaxes in the magic table, slapping that Zalgo text on there, and you know, mining down at the speed of sound. You know, you kind of feel, I mean, there is a psychological element to that where you feel like you kind of have to do it, or it's hard not to do it. It's hard not to follow the intended progression of the game. It's hard not to explore the avenues given to for that progression or whatever. And again, it leads to people even thinking that much about Minecraft's progression. Like, I think Minecraft's progression, like how it is in this, for example, like in beta or whatever, like it kind of doesn't fucking matter. Like people kind of talk about it sometimes, like Minecraft's progression sucks. It's like, it kind of doesn't matter. Or Minecraft's progression isn't really, it's not even what you think it is, or it's not really about the tools that you get, or it's not really about getting, I don't know. I mean, it kind of is in a certain sense. Like, if you look at it traditionally, right? Like, if you're playing a regular-ass game, you know, you get better stuff. You can do things better. You can kill your enemies faster. And this, you mine faster, okay? Like, that's progression, sure, yeah. But it's like, it kind of doesn't matter because the point isn't to get an ending. And that's kind of like the problem with the end, you know, for example. Like, they're almost, it almost feels like there shouldn't be an ending at all, because that's not really the point of the game, or at least I don't personally like it as the point of the game. I don't really like there being, I think that wasn't really the intention early on, and I think that it's sort of better off this way, in my view. Like, I think it's, you know, the focus should be more on just building stuff for as long as you wish to, in the way that you want, like crafting your own world, doing whatever indefinitely. Like, it's kind of, there shouldn't really be like a traditional progression system, and the elements that are like reminiscent of that, or, you know, like the tools or whatever, should sort of be, I don't know. I mean, it isn't leading up to something. Like, for example, I kind of like how it's sort of, it's a loop. It's a particular kind of loop. Like, looking for diamonds, for example, is kind of like, once you get to the point of having diamond tools, it sort of is like a game of, you know, you get the diamonds, you make it into tools, you use those tools to find more resources, to find more diamonds, to fuel your projects, and, you know, eventually you run out and then you need to find more. Like, it's kind of a never-ending loop of like, okay, we get the resources, use them to find more resources, we use those resources to build our world, you know, run out of resources, keep going. Let me take a break for a second. Yeah, talking. But yeah, you know, use it to keep going, and it's kind of a loop that way. And it can be an engaging loop, at least to me. I mean, again, I mean, I know to some people I think it gets boring, but to me that's never-ending fun, because there's always something else to build. The point of the game to me, which is, again, like, it's, a lot of it is, again, building, you know, building up your personal little world, I guess, connecting things together, exploring new areas, seeing what's good, new good place to settle, linking that place to your old settlements, you know, repeat ad infinitum, you know, or shit like that, similar. Basically building, and again, the process of acquiring resources to do so, and defending things against monsters, or dealing with, again, the challenges the world presents you with in finding those resources, or, you know, whatever else you want to do. A world that changes, even sometimes without your input. You know? And, oh geez, but yeah, I mean, to that end, I think the progression is perfectly serviceable. I mean, I think it could probably be improved in certain ways, maybe, but Like, I mean, I like the way this mod improves things. Like, again, like making diamond tools faster so I can dig this tunnel real nice and speedy like. And if I want something more durable, I can craft some steel tools or whatever. I don't know. Maybe they'll add something else later on that'll be interesting, maybe. Or, oh yeah, the other thing I really like is, fucking making gold tools act like Silk Touch does in modern versions. That's real good. I do like that a lot. Which again, it's like it kind of makes you think, then what the fuck, what the fuck is the point of enchanting? Like, why do we even need to have this, like, weird-ass thing, Although, sometimes that makes me wonder, because Notch, I think Notch did implement that system, so it kind of makes you think, like, I don't know, was he, like, losing his touch, or what? I mean, because maybe, again, I guess maybe it's also just that, enchanting isn't really that bad, it's just, again, it goes back to, the everything coming together thing, and it just kind of, contributes to a larger issue, or a larger shift. But I do like the way this is done, like, it kind of makes you wish, like, or think, like, man, it's just, can be so much simpler, I guess, or condensed, and giving things like gold tools a purpose, because before they're just a fucking joke. Like, when would you ever craft gold tools? Never. Fucking never. When would you ever craft a gold tool? Ever. Aside from when you first, are playing the game and you don't know what it does, and you discover, like, oh, this is utter shit and does nothing. I guess it's like gold in real life. Wow, that's funny. Like, I guess it's impractical to make tools out of. Which I guess, yeah, it's still funny, but I don't know. It should be like this, It should be like Terraria, where it's just inexplicably, like, a really good tool for no reason. Just because it's fantasy, I guess. I don't know, you have fucking redstone. What the hell is that shit? Aspergite? Remember when... I actually don't remember when people used to call it that, because that was, again, before my time. The time I was obsessed with as a kid. Probably talk more about that too. I guess I didn't talk about that too much. And maybe that would be interesting. Oh, hello. But it was something I found out about later that at first people called it Aspergite, which is really funny. That's a really good name. I love that, but it's funny that it's like totally forgotten about by now. But But look at that, it's... What the hell is that? I don't know. It's magic. It's just magic gold. What the fuck is this, diamonds? Making tools out of diamonds? What are you, a dentist? Yeah, I guess my guy Steve's a fucking dentist making tools out of diamonds. Psychopath over here, but... Anyway, I like it. And, I guess it makes things a little less efficient, because you can't, get like a diamond Silk Touch pick and just keep mining a bunch of stone to get that shit really easily, but it's not that bad. Again, I guess it almost makes it more of like a, it'll mostly be for stuff you won't want too much of. Just a bit of grass for your garden or something like that, or a couple of ores to show off. Which, oh yeah, I didn't even mention how it makes it like the raw gold ore like it is in the cave update, which, isn't there a thing where it's kind of like you'd almost think it'd be weird because it's like, oh, it's a new feature, even uses the new texture, but honestly, it's not really that bad. The cave update wasn't that bad, really. Although, I don't know, I haven't thought too much about it, really, even though, like, the caves being improved is something I always wanted. But, I don't know. I kind of like how this mod does it, too, where it just makes the world deeper. I think that's always how I imagined it, since I was younger. you know, wanting like a cave update. It's just making the world deeper with like different layers, which this also kind of does with this basalt layer. So again, I like their implementation of it. It's not too complicated, but it, you know, makes a good bit of difference. Feels good, feels cool. Delving in the depths of the earth. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, what was I talking about? Gold tools is cool, but yeah, not very efficient. But yeah, I mean, I guess there's not too much you'll be needing anyway. There's slime somewhere, I can't find them though. Where the fuck are they? Oh, hi. Hello. What's up? What's going on, fellas? It's dark and watery in here. Oh god, it's gonna be a big one. Ooh! Uh-oh! 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 Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that! Oh, man. Hey, at least I got some obsidian. Alright, I should be fine, actually. Let me go back down and get it. Whoopsie! Whoopsie doodles. Well, anyway, I'm sure some of my stuff burned, but probably didn't lose too much. We'll be fine. Just hope there's not too many monsters down there still. What the hell was I talking about? I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, just this mod adds cool stuff. It's awesome. I like the way they do it. And, yeah. Walk of shame. You know, maybe I should be wearing armor. I think that's kind of a problem. Just wearing a fucking, like, shitty, about-to-break leather armor if it hasn't broken already and I didn't notice. Let's hope that's the thing that burned up. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, how fun. Good way to finish this off. I think I should wrap this up soon. Alright, here we go. Gives me that. I'm gonna need this. I don't know why I put the bread up, because I'm probably gonna need that if anything attacks me. I'm gonna need this. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Give me that. Oh god. Oh, it's a little silly. Yeah, I still need to plug that up. But I think we have most of our stuff. Ladies and gentlemen. Yep, here's my shitty gear. My shitty gear that sucks! Whoop, whoop. Inventory management. I think there physically cannot be anything else that I missed because you know, my inventory is almost full. Alright, oh, let's see here. I mean, shouldn't whatever killed me still be alive? Nah. Yeah, I don't know. Fuck. Was I making some point before that I didn't finish? I can't remember. Because I already made a lot of points, and some of them are sort of similar. Oh, fucking Christ. Come on, man. I just want to... Oh, shit. Alright, if there's a time they use a bow, this is it. Oh fuck. Alright, alright. We're getting in the zone here. Oh. Hello. Hello. Man, quite the adventure. Don't you think? Don't you think? Oh god. Yeah. And this is fun. This is fun. Yeah. I think I was talking about progression. I think I was talking about progression and how it doesn't fucking matter. Who gives a fuck? You know. At least, again, to me, what I think of the game, which, again, may not be what other people think. This waterfall goes up very high. Jesus Christ. But yeah, it may not be what other people think, how people feel, but it's how I feel. So I'm sharing it with you since I'm rambling. There it is. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. Alright, this is a large cave. We gotta go back because my inventory is full. Yeah, so... yeah. That's funny. Oops. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I was talking too about, you know, how some shit is just hard to ignore. Or it's like, I don't know, it's gonna affect you whether you ignore it or not. Even if just, like, psychologically. So it's kind of a weird argument when people say stuff like that, but I get it, but then it's also like, it kind of matters, you know? Or it makes a difference when it's not there, like here. Like, it makes a difference, it changes the way you think about how you play. You know, even if you could technically do that in a newer version or something, you'd play it like you play this. You could ignore every new feature. It's like, it's not quite the same. And there are some things that are legitimately, you know, different, fundamentally, mechanically, that, you know, change the way you do stuff. So, I don't know. I mean, it matters. It matters is basically what I'm saying. And I don't know if most people even would argue against that. I just like to think about it, think about why that is, I suppose, or something. But yeah. And I guess last thing also is just... what the hell? Zombies? Dungeons? Sorry, I gotta check this out. In this mod, they actually, they added a sound for when a spawner spawns something. So it would probably be audible if, by now, so it probably isn't a spawner. It makes like a... I don't know what the sound is, like a fireball sound or something. Yeah, it's probably just a cave. Let me check it out though. Oh my god, they're right here. They're right here. They're right under my nose. Oh my goodness! What the fuck? I'm walking into all kinds of traps. All kinds of tricks and traps today. Alright, time to make another workbench. Because I left the last one. I'll make 1 piece of bread. 2 pieces of bread. Alright, so... ooh. I like the mob variation skins. That's a good thing too. Just like little minor things. And that was the other thing, is I really like the classic aesthetic. That's one of the most major things I think people will point to nostalgia for, but no, I think it's good. I like it, but I guess I like weird, kind of like sort of styles that are rough around the edges, you know, in general. So it's like the old programmer art style kind of stuff it's beautiful to me. I really like it. I love the old lighting system. I think it's just better. That's one thing I'll always defend. It's you know, it's not even just like a charming amateur thing. It's just better for it to be like this. I just don't like the new lighting. I just like it, it's cooler, it's darker, which is, you know, it's more interesting gameplay-wise. Like, caves are actually dark, and scary. It increases the atmosphere. Something this mod does that I love too is add like foggy weather. You know, you'll have foggy days that naturally like decrease your render distance basically. That's great. I love that so much. It's just the greatest atmosphere ever. But you know, just in beta in general or all the previous versions, like it's great atmosphere. There's just something about it that's so particular. And maybe part of that really is nostalgia, or it's just that I've become so attached to it over the years, but it's just like, I don't know, man. But again, I mean, even as a kid back in the day, I mean, I knew something was up, even though I had only very briefly, you know, been into the game when it was kind of like this aesthetically. So it's like, I don't know, man. But yeah, I mean, there's something about it. It's hard to explain, but you know, it's good stuff. And this mod builds on it very well, I think. I really like it. I really enjoy it. I'm a big fan. What do I want to make the stairs out of? I don't know. What's a shitty block that I don't want to use elsewhere? Granite? I don't know. Fuck, whatever. I'll just make it out of fucking cobblestone. I'll make it out of cobblestone, because fuck you. Yeah. It's just crazy. Like, I don't know. Music. Don't forget about the music. Don't forget about the music, man. That's always classic. C418. I think this mod adds in all the music discs, but I haven't found any yet, unfortunately. But those are great as well. Gotta have them. Gotta have them. But yeah, everything is just great. Now I'm just speaking nonsense. I should probably stop. I think I made most of the points I've been thinking about lately. You know? There was something else I was gonna say, but I forget. Oh, phooey, I'm on the stairs. Shoot. Stair building, let's play. Minecraft let's play. I don't think I'm ever gonna make a let's play, but I don't know, I guess this is close enough. It's close enough, guys. So I'm building a staircase. It's going up. It's going up. We're going up. Going up the staircase. Oh yeah. I was talking about to my friend too. I like how they implemented the stone types. I guess maybe I do almost just. There's almost nothing wrong with how they implemented it in modern versions either, too much, or at least, again, like the fundamental idea is fine. I think just, I don't know, maybe I just don't like some of the rocks, like diorite, just kind of shits ass, and just the textures are weird or something. Like I like these, like just like altered stone texture. It reminds me of the mod, you know, for beta. It was in like it was in the Yogs box, the Yog box. I remember I played that a lot. It was like Mystic Stones that added some similar stone types, and I love that shit so much, even though it added weird, bizarre shit too, like green stone or something. I mean, I guess, hey, it's Mystic. It can be whatever the hell you want. You know, reminded me of Pretty Patties, like that one SpongeBob episode with the multicolored patties, Krabby Patties, you know? That's what that shit always made me think of. It's literally exactly like that in my head. It makes you want to eat it. You know? Maybe figuratively. I don't know. I don't know if you actually want to eat the stone. But, you know. Yeah. I don't know how that boat got out there. I guess I must have pushed it accidentally or something. It floated out to sea. But yeah. Fun. Yeah. Yeah, that was classic. That was always classic, so it reminds me of that. Feels good. Again, I think it's benefited by being in very large clusters or large, I don't even know what you call it, like stratas or something, you know, of the world, rather than weird little blobs that suck. But yeah, I'm on my little balcony. This is funny the way they implemented glass panes is glass trapdoors. So you can open and shut them. It's completely bizarre, but I guess they were going for kind of a kind of classic hack feature that Notch would kind of do sometimes. Or it's kind of, I don't know, somehow it feels like that, even though I wonder if you can even think of any examples that are that bizarre. But anyway. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, I'm stalling for some reason, but I guess I'm almost not sure if I have something else to say. But I think I don't. I think I'm just extending the length of this video too much, and it's already probably really long. Like, let's see. Yep, it's an hour and 30 minutes. Woo! I can't fucking help myself. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how people just, I don't know how people are concise. I guess I'm not concise in anything I do. I just can't do it. It's fucking impossible. I just go on for paragraphs and paragraphs on fucking everything. It's impossible for me to be concise. So, yeah, at least people watch long videos instead of reading long paragraphs and essays, because nobody's gonna do the latter. I mean, these days, you'd be hard-pressed to get someone to read one fucking paragraph, let alone a goddamn essay. I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I ain't reading all that, okay? Nobody's reading all that anymore. Which is pretty annoying, but, you know, that's another topic, whatever. Anyway. I don't have any sugar cane, really? Okay, well, I think that's it. Yeah, is that it? Yeah. I think that's it. Oh yeah, check out these paintings, by the way. They added the same guy who made the other Minecraft paintings. They add more of his shit. You can place it in the world. Hey, look, you can even select which painting you're gonna get. Like, oh man, look at this. Death and the Maiden. Oh man, I really want that on my wall. That's awesome. I love it. It's so cool. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stop now. Bye. See ya.